Hello and welcome. My name is Michael Jobity, and I'll be hosting this live stream today, as well as the award ceremony on the 7th and 8th of December at the Ealing Picture House Cinema in West London. Welcome to the 5th edition of the Miraband UK Film Awards, powered by the Miraband Company and founded by our festival director and founder, Jay Manari, who is also an independent filmmaker, writer, producer, and director, member of Directors UK, and nominated Filmmaker of the Month. The Miraband UK Film Awards, or MUFA, is a British BFI film fund-winning film festival listed on the British Council Festival Directory and London-based, focused on showcasing diversity in auteur movies, created despite all the challenges of an indie, low-budget production. Miraband provides a spotlight for underrepresented, emerging, and experienced independent filmmakers through on-site networking events, live-stream industry talks, online film courses, and most recently, an independent film fund launched to support the making of more independent short films. If you haven't done so yet, please check out our affordable festival tickets for £16 for 2 days of screenings and panels. And don't miss the limited Career Pass tickets, which offer exclusive industry access. Subscribe to our art house-focused streaming platform, Stream Auteur, to watch all the officially selected candidates of this edition, and vote for your favorite, which will win the Best Film Audience Award. With that, let's get the ball rolling with our special guests. Please welcome Olivia Andrus-Drennan from the United States, shortlisted for Best Documentary Short with their film, The Dolphin Dilemma. And we also have our esteemed juror on the call today, Thomas Deshays. Imagine waking up being covered in third-degree burns. That's what it's like for the Baronin dolphins in Australia. Why is this happening? That's what Dr. Dugnan, Director of Pathology at the Marine Mammal Center, Dr. Stevens from Murdoch University, and Dr. Robb from the Marine Mammal Foundation had to find out. This film explores this international collaboration that proves for the first time that these lesions being found on cetaceans around the world are only caused by climate change. Let's take a look.
Seeing a dolphin for the first time in the water is always an amazing experience. And sometimes when they come over to the bow and they turn their head and they make direct eye contact at you, it's just a feeling that you can't describe. There's a connection there. They're checking you out just as much as you're checking them out and researching them. I recognise every individual within both of the Baronin populations that we study. And I sometimes wonder when you have dolphins that repeatedly come over to the boat and jump on the bow and check you out, whether they go, there's Kate again.
Yep, just up in here. Oh, yeah. You can go out there and they might be bleeping out of the air or surging through the water. They're incredibly intelligent and they're just a lot of fun.
Over the last 2 years, we have observed a change.
To think that we could lose that just by our careless actions almost feels like a crime to me.
All right, well, with that, let's jump into the Q&A. Olivia and Thomas, it's so nice to have you on the call today. So I guess my first question would be, first off, this is an amazing film. I personally love dolphins and sustainability, and it was really great to see. I wasn't aware of this and the impact that climate change is having on wildlife. I guess for yourself, my first question would be the background behind making this film from a production point of view, obviously logistics. You had to connect with so many different researchers. How did you go about location scouting? If maybe you can kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, sure. I kind of got lucky, in all honesty. I was working as an intern, one of the video interns for the Marine Mammal Center at the time, and they published this paper, and I read it about freshwater skin disease in the Baronin dolphins that they discovered maybe 5 years before they published the paper. And when I read the amazing work that they had done, I knew not only it was groundbreaking, but people had to see it. So I asked them, is it possible for me to do this? And this was during COVID. So they were a little hesitant, as we all were during that time, to let me come in. But because I was already working for them, they said, yeah, let's do this. And so I was able to get the first kind of interviews with the main researcher. Sorry, my dog's got off. The researcher,
Okay, no worries.
Dr. Drennan. And then after that, it took about 2 years to coordinate with Australia. And at first, because COVID was going on, I didn't think I was going to be able to go. I was going to focus on the United States and the dolphins within the US, as well as focusing on Alaska and the iceberg melt that's happening, which is another addition of fresh water into the waterways. And then Dr. Rob called me and said, we're doing dolphin analyzing. We're going out into the field, and it lined up right when I was already starting to fundraise for the film. And so I said, can I come? And she said, yeah, come on the boat. Be there the whole week. It'll be fine. And so I said, great. And I just transferred to fundraising to go to Australia and actually be with them. Obviously, I wasn't there at the time when the disease happened. So I got, again, research came into it, knowing that the Marine Mammal Center documents everything, knowing that I would have access to all of that B-roll that they had at the time, as well as B-roll that they had for I think it's about 15 years that the Marine Mammal Foundation in Australia has actually shown the dolphins and been studying them consistently every single year. So they were willing to collaborate with me completely. And so I had another huge access to footage in order for us to tell the whole story. So once I got to Australia, it was just me and a small little rig on my shoulder, and we went out every single day on a tiny, tiny boat that if I moved the wrong way, I would fall off.
Oh, no.
And we started filming dolphins, and it was amazing to be able to see what research was going on at the time, how they actually do it, and how close, because they have the permits, because their boat is small and they know these animals so well, that they could follow and get really close. And so those beautiful landscape shots, the underwater things, those were all things we were able to get just by being with this group of amazing collaborators. So that's kind of how that all came together.
That is amazing. And the fact that you worked there, I feel like you could even film a movie just on filming this film. It seems like it was an adventure. Yeah. But I'll hand the ball over to Thomas if he has any questions for yourself as well as our juror.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much for clarifying all of that. It's an amazing adventure, I imagine, for you, and very moving too, because it's heartbreaking to see those pictures of the burned skins and all of that, and I love dolphins myself, and they are my favorite animals. But anyway, and not a single creature should deserve such a punishment. Somebody says it's a crime. It's true. It's a crime. It's very unfair. And I imagine that for you it was difficult to handle, but it's
sorry.
It's okay.
Hang on one second.
It's okay. Yeah. Okay. It's very I'm just saying that it's very well done, because it's there is a balance between emotion and information. And the documentary, it's about information, but also it has to be moving, and you managed to do both. So how did you manage to get this balance?
Really appreciate it. It was very difficult. The subject in general is hard, and it's happening now. And that's what makes it even more heartbreaking, right? This is not the first time that we've seen the freshwater disease. It's just been identified of what is actually causing it. And because climate change is happening, it's just another red flag film, right? We are seeing so many different changes, but dolphins and cetaceans, whales, killer whales, porpoises, all of these animals are being affected because of the iceberg melt and the more of the freshwater storms that are coming into areas that might not have had water for a long time. So yeah, this disease will be seen throughout the world and has been. We just didn't know. They didn't know what was causing it. I can't imagine like the ability that they were so willing to tell the story and be able to work with me and the impact that it's had. I mean, I've been really blessed to just be a part of it, and it absolutely was one of the hardest films I think I've had to make, just because it was so touching to myself.
Yes. Okay. It's touching to us, and so that's a very good work. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think we are kind of towards the end of the live stream time, but I just want to give a special thanks to Olivia and yourself, Thomas, for being on the call today. It was amazing to dive deeper, especially with the documentary. I know we've had a variety of different films, and I know there's a lot of interest for building a film like this and looking at how you can do the logistical scouting and finding the location and actually going, or if the boat tips the wrong way, you could fall in the water. That is something that, it's a good lesson to learn. You got to go in and do it hands-on. But with that, I just want to give a special thanks. I have a couple quick reminders before we finish today. So for the audience, festival passes are available for purchase on the Mirror Band and Ealing Picture House website. The red carpet reception, followed by the award ceremony, will take place at the Ealing Picture House Cinema on the 8th of December, which is Pansexual and Panromantic Pride Day. Starting from the 7th of December, finalist films will be screened and available to stream on our platform for 5 weeks, where you can select the Best Film Audience Award. How can you vote for your favorite? Well, it's super easy. All you have to do is register on Stream Auteur and click Add to Favorites for the film that you want to vote for. Thank you again, Olivia and Thomas, for being on the call today, and a special thanks to our festival director, Jay Manari. Hope you enjoyed. Look forward to the next set of live streams.
Yeah, thank you so much.